In our last video, we made it as far as North West Brook Bridge, where we stopped for lunch and a chat with the Grey Jays. Once we were done, we packed up the bikes and decided to go and check out the other side of the river under the bridge. It was hot enough we were tempted to jump in, but we still had lots of ground to cover and decided against it. When we finally got moving, it was nice to catch a breeze in this heat as we continued on towards Terra Nova. There was lots of traffic on this section of the trail, and we passed several groups of side-by-sides, and since the trail was so smooth here, I think all hands were going fast enough that we caught each other by surprise a few times. It was good easy going, and we were having the time of our lives just enjoying the ride and taking in the scenery. Out here, the trail doesn't demand much from you. It just carries you along through gentle turns and endless stretches, where the only real task is to keep moving forward and take it all in. It's simple, but somehow, that's what makes it perfect. There was no trouble to tell when we got close to Terra Nova. The sand in this region is unreal, and can sometimes cause problems, but we'll come back to that later.
So, what's the plan?
Trail down here. We get out right on the fucking beach, and it's all just sandy beach, eh?
Okay.
So that's a beautiful little spot.
So, do you want to go that way first, or?
Yeah, sure. And then we can come back up toward it.
Like, how far away is the beach?
Like, just past those trees there.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I wasn't kidding earlier about the sand. This wasn't the stuff that gave us trouble, that was still waiting for us, but it definitely kept you on your toes. The front end would wander just enough to remind you who's really in control. It was loose, sketchy, so much fun.
Looks like you got a wood chip or something. How low the water is though, I don't know if you can always get over here.
Second biggest detour of our trip, and one we didn't plan, but the beach just looked too inviting to pass up. We rode about 1 kilometer downriver before we reluctantly decided to turn around, but we easily could have kept going if we wanted to. This ended up being one of the biggest highlights of the whole trip for us, the sandy shoulders of the Terra Nova River. I never cease to be amazed at the diversity of terrain that Newfoundland has to offer. I've been meaning to paddle this river for a while now. I just never imagined I'd cover more of it on a dirt bike before ever getting a kayak in the water. The weather was perfect, the wind was low, and I'm really glad we had the drone up here. Some of these shots turned out to be incredible. This is the kind of spot that makes its way into the Hall of Fame for rides you'll never forget. It's an unfortunate truth that a really dry summer is to blame for this opportunity, but we were grateful for the experience nonetheless. After an epic detour, the afternoon was starting to slip away, so it was back on the straight and narrow. We pushed on and ran into a few more convoys of side-by-sides, trading dust clouds as we went. With the sun hanging low straight ahead, mixed with all that dust, visibility got pretty rough at times. And with Tim up front, it was a pretty steady feed of dust anyways. At this point though, kind of an acquired taste. One that was easy to forget once the scenery started pulling my attention back in. So this is where our day took an unexpected turn. I've always wanted to ride my bike in this sand pit.
I have always wanted to come into this pit.
I've seen it so many times while driving the TCH, but both the sun and the tanks were getting low at this point, so we didn't plan to stay for too long. But then we got to the other side of the pit, where Tim decided to put his bike in shovel mode.
Nice. What are you gonna do? Do you need help? I'll get out of your way at least. Oh, she's down.
A few moments later.
Oh.
The GoPro was dying here, so we didn't get much footage. But after discovering Tim had a flat from digging in the sand, we had to limp our way to Gambo, where we called Tim's dad for backup.
Alright. I just sent Tim ahead. Put air in his tire and let him just kind of immediately take off. And I'm gonna catch up. Alright, man. I'll follow you guys. Yeah.
You might notice the bike I'm on isn't exactly your typical road bike, and honestly, it's not even a typical dual sport. I've been riding a 2014 Yamaha TTR 230 this whole trip. It is road legal now, but bikes like this don't usually end up here. I converted it into a dual sport myself, swapped the gearing from 1349 to 1447, rejetted the carb to a 38-130, and added an FMF PowerCore 4 exhaust. That setup gives it just enough extra pull to handle the taller gearing, letting me stretch out the top end a little when I need to. The bike actually looks quite different now than it does here. You'll see that in future videos. Honestly, building and tweaking the bike is almost as fun as riding it. It was just starting to get dark as we finally made it to Tim's father's house, and we were looking forward to turning in for the night. Tim's flat tire would have to wait until the morning before we headed out on our final day towards Grand Falls.